what's a day in the life of Greg Wells? Like a typical work day when you're working on, right now you're working on something very important, right?
Well, since the beginning of the summer of 2022, I have been just full steam ahead on a tiny music team. I'm the music producer for both Wicked movies, and there's also 2 album soundtracks, one for each film.
And that's a lot of songs too, right?
It's a lot of songs. In the movie, on the soundtrack album, we sutured them together so that it's just, like on the first soundtrack album, I think it's 11 songs. In the movie, though, because it's a movie and you had to cut the songs up for dialogue and different things, it wound up being, I think over 40 tracks.
Wow.
Because it's over a 2.5 hour movie. But anyway, I've been on that. I was hired to work on it before most of the cast was hired. Ariana and Cynthia were hired before me, not much before me. We didn't know who was going to play the wizard. There was no, Jonathan Bailey was not hired to be Fiyero yet. We didn't know Michelle Yeoh was coming on board. It was and it's just been nothing but that for pretty much 7 days a week.
Wow.
Late hours.
So how do you start? You wake up. Is the phone next to you or is it in another room?
It's next to me.
Is it on airplane mode?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
No, it's on silent mode.
Silent mode. I would turn the Wi-Fi off.
Sometimes I do.
It's good.
Sometimes I do. I will turn the Bluetooth off.
And then what do you do? Do you wake up, check your emails, or do you wake up and walk the dog or do something?
By the way, I try to keep it far enough away from me that any EMF things should not be hitting me.
It's a real thing, EMF. And people don't talk about it because it's not cool. But I've had my EMF episodes. That's a whole nother chapter.
Yes, I used to have a thing that could measure it.
Me too.
One thing I really learned
the whole
about
room, everything. It came cyclical. I had it twice in my life that it was debilitating, and I had to just get away from everything.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
No one believes it because we can't see it.
Yeah.
In the same way that no one believed there was cholera in the well in Soho, London, that gave everyone the Black Plague. Like, we can't see it. It's fine. It's water. Right. I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
Don't drink that water.
You know, we started out at what's a day in the life of Greg Wells.
So doctors didn't wash their hands. On Wicked, it was just like, we have to win the war. There was just so much to do. It's very complicated.
So you dream of work and you get up in your mind, I'm working already?
The songs are just, I submitted a long time ago to, when you work on a piece of music and it's just in your head and you can't get rid of it. So it stopped bothering me.
You live in that movie right now.
Yeah, I'm the Wicked Witch flying around in my own little broomstick. I love I really connect to a lot of the music. I really connect to the story of the Wicked Witch. Wicked, for someone who may be watching this who doesn't know the story, it's a prequel to The Wizard of Oz, and it's kind of it came from a book that was just trying to figure out, like, why is the Wicked Witch what's her problem? Like, why is she so pissed off? Why is she so? Yeah. And it turns out, according to the story, she was actually really, like, lovely and very, very kind of misunderstood. And it's the ultimate underdog story. And then she realizes the wizard is actually like this terrible fascist dictator, and she's the only one that can really take him on.
Wow.
And the character's supposed to be 18 or 19 years old. It's powerful stuff. So I felt very compelled to help tell that story. Of course, they had an insane team with an incredible director and amazing talent all over the place. I had lots of things kind of like, it made it very easy to get up and attack it. It's just been the most intense thing. Like I know it's been over 2 years. It doesn't feel like it's been 2 years.
It's crazy. And so you're interacting with the movie director. Is it a musical as well on stage, or it's the movie you're working on? Or you said you were working on 2 things at the same time?
So Wicked has been, for 20 years, it's been a musical on Broadway. Yes. And around the world, still playing in London. I think it's played in Japan, it's played in Germany, it's played all over the place. Lots of translations of it. Universal for many years has been looking at making it into a movie. There was another director attached to it for a number of years, and for whatever reason, they parted ways. And then John M. Chu, who I got to work with on In the Heights, he got hired to direct Wicked. And John, at some point, decided that it really needed to be 2 movies.
2 movies.
It was too much to jam into one.
Wow.
So, like the live Broadway musical. It's Act 1 and Act 2, and it's kind of...
And you're working on the whole package right now.
Yeah, they shot it as one film. Mm-hmm. They took a year to shoot all of it. Mm-hmm. And as you do in movies, it wasn't shot chronologically. You know, sometimes you have to shoot the ending scene first just because of whatever, budget and location and stuff, availability. And there was just so many moving pieces. You know, the world of Broadway and the world of movies is this sort of four-dimensional, I perceive it as like a four-dimensional matrix of just all of these. It reminds me of that scene in Interstellar when Matthew McConaughey's like kind of descending to this space that winds up behind the bookshelf, and he's talking to just all these things and pieces. They're all like interacting, but it's sort of surreal. And
so you're 100% in that world right now.
In that world, and working with people who are totally fluid and comfortable dealing with all of those elements. And I'm like, I've been making records for 30 years. So
do you feel it takes away from the Greg Wells, like from you as a human and from you as you have your own dreams, your own songs you want to do here and there, your projects? If big artist calls and wants to work with you, you have to say no.
I've had to say no to a lot of stuff in the last couple of years. Some really interesting stuff has shown up, and I'm like, I can't. But I'm really in love with working on this thing.
And it's like a big milestone. It's like just like bigger than Greatest Showman. It's like this one epic thing that the world knows, and if you do it right, you will be remembered.
I want the story to impact people the way that it has impacted me. You know, it really hits with young girls. It's a real female empowerment story. Wow. Like like Ariana Grande is the perfect proof of concept. I mean, she saw it 20 years ago when she was 10, and she saw it again and again and again and again and again. And that's a common thing where young-ish girls will just see it repeatedly. It just blows their lights out, and I understand why. You know, I have my own inner young girl in me. You know, I mean, it kills me.